a little hiccup there. Okay, technical hiccup, not a physical hiccup. So this is Erica of Erba Arts, and this is Sunday demo, but on Monday. Because this time yesterday, I was still on the road driving back, swerving around Amish buggies through southern Minnesota. Okay, by this point, I was probably in Iowa, but yeah, I got home shortly before 4 yesterday. So yesterday was sort of recovery day. I slept a real long time yesterday morning up at Kathleen's house in St. Paul. But today's sort of a recovery day, so I'm like not pushing myself too hard. There may be a push after this. I went and did grocery shopping. I took care of laundry. I created some Facebook events. You know, those sort of types of things. And one of the errands I also ran was I got a new blender so that I can, I've got an old blender. I can't access it right now. So the one I've gotten is going to be used to make pesto, which I think I'm actually going to go after this out, harvest. I've still got some onions and shallots I'm going to harvest. And then I'm going to take probably one of the big tote thingies. Not one, I only have small ones here, but one of the big tote thingies and bring it out to the garden and either uproot or cut off a couple of the basil bushes because they are bush size, and put them in that tote, bring them home, and then I'll probably work on pesto tonight, and then maybe some more tomorrow. And then if I can finish it in time, that blender will then become the dye blender after I wash it. And because I don't know if indigo is like poisonous to people. Because if I can do it, I will then go out to the garden tomorrow after I have taken the car in for service, and pluck the little bit of indigo I have and do a little fresh indigo dyeing. So look for photos of that. It may not happen. The indigo could have been touched by colder weather. It's super, super windy right now. But I got to get this stuff done because it's supposed to be Tuesday night. It's supposed to get down to 32. And so I think it would just kill everything. Also, I might harvest my parsley and my rosemary. My rosemary's been doing really well. I might actually try and dig the rosemary up, but I'm not sure I have a pot to put it in. So yeah, so anyways, that's sort of the plan. We'll see what happens. Execution may end up with nothing happening, but we'll find out. Okay, so I got last of my Lapsang Souchong tea there. We're going to use Sebastian, and I'm going to I have a phone battery on order. Hopefully it's coming in tomorrow or Wednesday, so I will eventually be able to get you back over the top of this. But until that time, let me tilt you down a little bit so you can at least see that much of Sebastian. Hello, Donna. So, I have some, let's see here, I have the tag right here. This is 80% Border Leicester, 20% BFL hand dye. This is from Random Rovings in Michigan. So it's definitely got that Border Leicester feel, which is like not super cuddly. Okay. Now I just got to find the end on this. It's looking a little harder to find. Let's see. Hoping it hasn't felted to each other. I'm just sort of getting this random pile here. I think this is the end here somewhere. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay. To this, I also have picked out some bamboo, some sari silk, and then out of this bag, I think these are the BFL Gotland locks. Yes, they are. I'm going to pull out probably greens and pinks, or greens and purples, or something like that. I think that's the plan. So this week is getting ready for both the waffle sale. My waffle sale is on Sunday at 2:30 Central, so 3:30 Eastern. I will be on Saturday in Western Illinois, Macomb, Illinois, for the Western Illinois Fiber Festival. That one's always a little bit of a challenge for me because setup is not until the morning of. And it takes me a long, I am always jealous of those people who can walk in with I have to come up with a table version where essentially they walk in, they throw a couple tables up, they throw on a tablecloth, and then they pull up their fleeces and they're set up, right? Where I take, a couple of hours to get everything all set up. So I need to think about what Kathleen from Mode Knits, who I stayed with this weekend, was talking about is sort of a retreat setup or tabletop setup. I'm not sure because I'm going to need to do that for Sticks and Strings in February. I'm in that show, and that's a show up in the afternoon, set up your booth, people shop in the evening, and then you tear down and you go home. Okay, liking that. Okay, now we have to dig through here. So I had a good weekend. I'm just going to pull out greens, and I don't think I'll do pinks. I think I'm going to go purples. So there's some greens. I have this sort of light, sort of pinky lavender color. We'll go for that. That's the obvious pink. Some green. And this is just a big clump. I'm pretty sure these were all like kettle dyed. That I can maybe do something else with. Let's see what we got there. We got some more purples. Heloise is very excited to have me home, but right now, the sun has gone in, but earlier she was, because the thing with me being gone, she can't go downstairs and sit in the sun. So she's been going out. She spent part of today downstairs in the sun. So, okay, there we go. That'll be sort of purples and greens. I'll set this over here in case I need to get more out. Okay, and this I just sort of pulled out because it sort of felted, and I thought, you could do something with that. So I'm just pulling that aside for me to use for something at some point. Maybe when I do some felting next. Okay, so checking for VM, because these were very active sheep. And I think I may just place. I'm not sure. How thin do I want them? Because they have these sort of BFL, they're these, tiny little blocky bits. So just place them around. That. I'll pull some purple ones. Sometimes I have to open them up just a little bit so that they sort of catch. It's super windy out. There's actually a wind chill today. It's 64, but it really feels like 62. Okay, we don't need a lot. I'll put these over here. But I will go through and press the, we don't need the bamboo doing that. There we go. Some nice color on there. So the Minnesota Fiber Festival, which is where I was on Saturday at I think it's Santi Fairgrounds in Cambridge, was good. I think it's like their 4th or 5th year. And so last year they expanded in size a bit, and so I was I don't think there was any heat in the room, and I was in front of this large south-facing window, which, part of the day was nice because it warmed things up. Part of the day, it was annoying because there's always sun in my eyes, and a customer would try on a dress or something, and I'd try and get a photo for them, but the light was just so bad. I couldn't get good representations in the photos. And also, it was set up, the window was right behind where my bats are in those plastic bags. So I had my bats were sitting in plastic in the sun. which is not a good thing. Okay, so I think I've gotten to here. Let's get this off. Causing too much of a mess. Okay. Gotta save this so I can tuck this back in. I'm only going to probably make one of these bats. I'll use this color for something else at some point. I think I have 2 of these. I like the color a lot, so I think I bought 2 of these from Jamie. Woolly Knob, I got to hang out with him at, I didn't buy these there, but I hung out with him at the Bloomington Wool and Fiber Festival. Because I bought these at Hoosier Hills, I think. Okay, I didn't want that much more. Save that for the next round. He's the one that had the dog named Dobby. Dobby did have big ears. Hello. Let's see, who's that? Oh, Juanita. Yeah, so this time, so there is technically camping up where I was this weekend. I asked about it, and I was warned that the bathrooms for like the camping area were primitive. Someone used a different word. I think they began with a G and had an R and had 2 S's at the end. But anyways, so I went and thought, well, you know, I was driving almost 45, 50 minutes between Kathleen's house in, okay, we now have red on there. Her house in St. Paul and the fairgrounds. I'm like, kind of nice to just sort of stay right there. And then I looked it up, and it's like $40 plus tax per night. And I was like, that just doesn't, for $40, I really want a really nice bathroom, right? And like hot water, and I heard, the showers don't have hot water. I'm like, yeah, I want like real showers and toilets and all that. So next year I think I will be staying with Kathleen again. And it was a good show. It wasn't great. It was sort of like what I jokingly call the Midwest average. So there's a certain amount that, obviously, you see, I'm not placing them on this time. I'm just running them through the feature rate. I'm going to probably end up with a few that have fallen down. And so it wasn't great. It wasn't as good as Bloomington. It wasn't certainly as good as Michigan, since Michigan was the best ever. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't as disappointing as some of the other shows that I have done. So I was happy overall, and it's a nice, easy drive. Okay, the accident on 52 was a bit daunting, but otherwise it's pretty much an easy drive. It's 3 hours to St. Paul, another hour-ish up to Cambridge, so. So my applications this week that I need to work on, I have to apply for a special event license for Colorado. And once I've done that, I can apply to Estes Wool Market, which has been on my to-do list. I also want to submit, that's for vending, but I also want to submit a teaching application there. That's going to make a really crazy June if I get in. It's like the weekend after Hoosier Hills. So I would essentially come back from Hoosier Hills on Sunday, empty out or add anything additional to the van that I need added. And probably Monday, start driving towards Colorado because it takes 2 days. And then I need to do my Shepherd's Harvest application. That's another Minnesota. Now that I've got a Minnesota tax number and all that, I can apply to the Minnesota shows. And Shepherd's Harvest is like the big one. And I think that's always Mother's Day weekend. I think my clothes would do really well there. And clothes aren't taxed in Minnesota, so that's really kind of nice. And then, what else? I have to see if the application for the wool gathering for next year is open yet. So I want to apply to that one. I've decided not to do DFW again. It's just, I don't think it was worth it. And now that they've moved it to the weekend right after Michigan, it's going to be too hard to do. I'm also going to probably resubmit my application for Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. I don't know if I want to teach there or not. I might submit a teaching application there. I don't know. Okay, that one's kind of, oh no, there we go. Just pulling it in the wrong direction. There we go. And I think there's another one. What other one was I going to apply for? No, there's another one. I just don't remember what it is. Okay, let's get some of the lavender. This one's kind of short, so I think I will just place those like that. Press them in. Sometimes they're a little pinkish, and I'm like, is that what I really want? Do a little more over here. Oh, look. Hey, I got some mohair, but it's the right color. Let's put that in too. That was left over from something. I also have to do a post for my guild. We have a sale coming up on the 1st and 2nd of November. Oh, you mean like the yellow from the Sari Silk? Or, because that is actually like a spring green. It does look a little yellowish. I'm sure it has a yellow undercast, but so I have to do a post. We're trying to sell some used equipment, and I always do all my Facebook stuff on my phone, and so it's really hard to have Facebook open to cut and paste, because if I've got one window, I can't seem to get the app open to more than one window. Which makes the cutting and pasting kind of interesting. But I need to create a post that has the photos of the different equipment and then captions about the details. So hopefully we can move some of these items out of our guild. So we can free up some space, and that we can also make some money. How are we doing thickness-wise? It feels really... So Border Leicester is kind of like the Leicester Long Wool and some of the other things where it's hard to tell how thick this is going to be. Yeah, look, Joe. Yeah, that's why they always tell you, be careful about, color quality and all that. Because every monitor is different. Yeah, it's sort of a spring green. Which does have yellow in it, of course. Like a pea green, not a pea green. Because it feels like it's getting full. But it really isn't. Anyway, so I have to do that, and then I think I'm going to have to boost that post. And then I think we're going to probably next week do an additional post that will boost of some of the finished items, like, the clothing. I have one of our members has a lot of vintage textiles, like kimonos and tie fabric. And so she's been developing and hand sewing patterns. And then we have a couple other people who do upcycling on clothes and the weavers and all sorts of things. So I gotta do another post of that. But it's the construction. It's like I gotta get into the Facebook account, and then I gotta like take screenshots of everything, and I gotta write down all the details, and that is a large piece of the look how large that is. Stupid sheep. I'll go another one here too. Oh. So I gotta do that tonight. I don't know if I can do that in the pesto. More. You also get like little bits of debris on the feed tray. So this naked area right there. Not naked anymore. Of course, now it's gotten really, it may rain. It's gotten very overcast. I also have to call the vet because I swear Heloise has an appointment next month, but I have it written down in for December. And I'm like, that seems really far away. So it's her little nail clipping thing. She gets a little tiny spa day. I take her and have them clip her claws because she does not let me do it. And I think the last time we did it was sometime this summer. And I thought I was trying for every 4 months. Or 3. And this December seems really far away. Okay, guess I'm getting both of these through here. And while we're here, we'll just put that little one in there too. Okay, now I want more green. I'm kind of feeling like this might be the end of it. It might be on the lighter side. And it's going to be probably a very thin bat because the border luster does not fluff out the way that a lot of other fibers do. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking. So it's going to probably be pretty thin. April's a while ago. Or April's a while away, I should say. Okay, quickly before I get fuzz in it. Let me take a sip of my tea. And that's what we're going with. We're going to break it. Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty light. So if you want to start guessing the weight, I stay on the low side, please. I mean, you can guess high if you want, but I don't think you're going to be correct. So my waffle sale, I will have bats. I'm going to try and make a whole bunch of bats. So the bats that have been either through a waffle sale before, those are all going to go to Macomb. And I'm going to try and keep most of the new bats at home so that there will still be enough bats for Sunday when I get back. I'll drive out Friday. Oh, I gotta tuck this side in. Oh, I'm already getting back combing. I'm going to drive out on Friday, set up his Saturday morning, so I have to set up really super fast. And I have no idea. It's been a year since I've done that show, so I don't know. I have no sense of how many bats I'm going to sell. Sometimes I sell a lot, sometimes I don't. But I just want, I'll make sure that I have enough bats for both events. Okay. And then I'm also going to have some finished items. I'll probably have a little bit of jewelry. I got some new charms that people might be interested in. Maybe a woven piece or two, depending on what sells in Macomb or not. So, okay, definitely going to have to clean that off. Okay. So here we go. It's a little overcast. It's a little hard to see, but you got the locks, the various colors, and all that. Not particularly thick. Okay. So let's get out the scale. My new business cards came in they were supposed to arrive on Friday, and I wouldn't have gotten them in time, but they actually showed up on Wednesday. So I have them for the show on Saturday. Okay. 0. Tear that out. Time to roll. It's Border Leicester. It's a little wiry. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. The weight is... It's 1.99 ounces. And that's in a 4 after that, so I can't even round it up to 2. Okay, so it's 1.99 ounces. If you got a name suggestion, pop it in the comments, please. I gotta figure out where my pen went. Can I see it under there? So 1.99 ounces. Did anybody get close? Let's come over and see. Oh, you guys went big. When I said small, I meant small. So yeah, so I will, I probably won't take photographs of it today because I've lost the sun, but maybe tomorrow I'll take a photo of it and post it up so you can see what it is. I will, of course, download this video and put it up on the YouTube channel. I now have like 120 or something videos on there. All of them unedited. Yay! Okay. Someday I may start editing them, but who knows? I have other priorities right now. So thank you very much for tuning in. And I will see you around, if you're watching this on Facebook, obviously I will see you around this weekend at the waffle sale. And for those of you watching on YouTube, the waffle sales are 9 months out of the year, the last full weekend of a month. There's none in December and there's none in July. There is one in August, but it's only raw wool, which I don't participate in. So if I have applied to be a vendor, and I do most months, sometimes if I have a big show that conflicts, I'll do the big show. Gives other new vendors a chance to try out WAFA. But if you're not familiar with WAFA, WAFA stands for Wool and Fiber Arts. There's a page on Facebook, and then there's the Wool and Fiber Arts community group, and that's the social group on Facebook. So I wish you all a very pleasant week, and I'll see you around on social media.